I want to build a house in The Sims, but every room is a different plant. By my count, there are currently 260 plants in The Sims 4, and so I want to randomize one, randomize a swatch, and then base the whole room around that. For the exterior, the shell, the front porch, we're going to be using the 61st plant in the game. 61 is Phil the Thrillodendron. I'm gonna hate myself, but I think to inspire a house from this plant, we use round walls. This has 8 swatches, and we're going to use the 8th swatch, which is this like rusty terracotta kind of color. I actually think this might work best in Oasis Springs. Do you see the vision? Maybe I need to put some paint on the walls, but you see the vision, right? I wanted to do like a fully circular patio, but the game was mad at me for that. For the roof, I'm thinking, what if we curve it up a bit and we could do green on the top, or we could do like brown to sort of be like a dirt. And while this is every room is a different plant, that doesn't mean those are the only plants I will use in the rooms. I'm not expecting to get the exact look, but I want some plants draping off the sides if possible. And so while I get this finished up, I want to tell you a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, Merge Gardens. I'm not sure how many of you know this, but I am a bit of a mobile game fiend, so I'm really excited to be partnering with Merge Gardens today. Merge Gardens is a relaxing match 3 puzzle game where you start with this overgrown garden and your task is to restore it. And you do this by merging items together, unlocking new resources, playing match 3 puzzles along the way. And I don't know about you, but something about like the actual action of dragging the items together, watching them merge, make something new, it makes me feel very like organized and scratches an itch in my brain that I didn't even know was there. The collection of items to merge is always growing, and filling up the garden with pretty flowers and birds and butterflies is just like so cute, so wholesome. I love it. Hummingbirds are one of my like favorite beings in existence, so I love that I can merge the little eggs together and get a new hummingbird for my garden. And I also really appreciate a game with like an underlying storyline. There's a lot of like hidden treasures and mysteries to uncover. There are literally people in the garden trapped in topiaries and you have to like free them. It's also a great game to play on the go. I just got back from like a 5-day trip, and being able to like whip it out at the airport or relax at the hotel after a long travel day by just merging my little things together was very nice. It's really relaxing, low stakes, no pressure, no time limits. You can go at your own pace. And so if this sounds like something you'd enjoy and you want to start building your dream garden, it is free to play on mobile and PC. You can download the game via the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on the screen right now. It's going to give you some free coins and resources to get started. And thank you again to Merge Gardens for sponsoring this portion of the video. Let's get back to it. I realized as I was trying to do this that the best way to make it look like the plant is use the actual plant. I don't know if you think that's like cheating, like using the word in the definition of the word, but it looks pretty good like that. And floor plan wise, for some reason the game let me draw a wall here. It looks kind of weird, but I'm taking it. I do not think that that is supposed to let me do that. No, wait. Speaking of things the game does not want me to do, look at this flooring. You know what? Just smile and wave. Just smile and wave. That's curved walls for you. That is definitely a way that a house can look in The Sims 4. But I think we could just get a little bit of like decor out here. I didn't give us a ton of room for like front porch activities. I would like to add this eco wall item kind of inspired by the cascading leaves. We could tuck a trash can right in here. No, what? The terrain paint doesn't go when the corner is rounded? What if I do kind of something along the lines of this? Sure. That's our exterior, everybody. So coming inside, we're going to do like this area as the living room, and maybe somehow we'll squeeze in a dining table. And this is going to be inspired by the 58th plant in the game, Serenity Memorial Wreath. Oh, it has 14 swatches, and we are going to be inspired by the 5th swatch, which is this red, orange, purple, pinky one. Luckily enough, I think we might be able to keep our flooring just because it really matches with these outer flowers. For the walls, I was wondering if we went with something from Life and Death, but probably not any of this. That does not look good with the floors. Also, since I did the curved walls, we have to like commit to all of the wall being one thing. That means whatever I paint this has to be for the bathroom too. And so for the furniture, I was thinking we go with stuff that has black accents, maybe get a little bit of purple and pink in there. Do we have like a pinkish purple of this rug? Maybe we could do this? It's literally not looking good. I think color scheme wise, the flooring is okay, but vibe wise, it does not work at all. So I'm getting a little confused and concerned. Would it be strange to put some of the other life and death funeral items in here? I do think it would be, but if we are supposed to be inspired by this plant, that's what the plant is representing. We do the the memorial display with the memorial wreath. I don't like the direction that we're going. Maybe instead of like the entire memorial display, we just do a shelf and put the photo on the shelf. We're really lacking some purple, and it's tough because The Sims 4 famously does not have a lot of purple. Maybe we can get a few shoes. I wonder how this wall decal from Life and Death could look. It's like this specific shade of pink that is so hard for me. Oh, the default swatches of the books could actually be nice. We have some of that red and some of the purple. And as for a storyline, who even could say? Maybe this sim wants to be an undertaker or a like grim intern, and so they're acquainting themselves with all of the life and death items. I did say maybe we could throw in a dining table. Maybe we will. We'll put one in the corner here, I guess. How weird would the urn as the centerpiece be? Maybe they just really admire this urn maker's work and wanted a replica for the centerpiece. Exactly. Let's just call that our living area. I think it's actually kind of okay, except for the floors. I ended up not really liking them. I literally had to like sleep on it and decide if this build was worth finishing. And I did realize I did not give any space for a door to the bathroom if I intend on using this wall for the kitchen. So anyway, speaking of the kitchen, let's move on. For the kitchen, we are going to be inspired by the 51st plant in the game. Oh, which is this cute little poetic advice by Alfred Tennis Shoe. It has 8 swatches and we're inspired by the 7th one. Oh, which is the entirely all white swatch. So my first idea for this one is to do this like all white wall. I know that that's like such a stark difference, but I feel like with the kind of like flowery almost accent it has, it's like this part is the vase and these parts are the flowers. I would love for there to be a way that we could have some tile in here without it, you know, doing this. I suppose we could just like cover that with plants once we get back out here. I just really wanted this to be like a fully all white top to bottom kitchen, and one that is a little bit fancy. Oh my god, why does anyone ever use round walls? Like, it's great from an exterior architectural standpoint, but it's like they forgot to add items that would actually work with the curved walls. Or I'm thinking maybe they didn't intend for someone to make an entirely circular house, because that is certainly not something that works. I want to do this like cottage living table for some extra kitchen clutter, but it fits so awkwardly in the curve here. I am going to add this bag of groceries. If you didn't know, your sim can actually click on that and interact with it. I didn't know that at first, but a few different items in the kitchen clutter kit they actually made semi-functional, which is that like the bare minimum? Yeah, but is it still exciting? Yeah. I actually really like the separate table with that clutter. And of course we need the plant that started it all. And maybe we'll do this rug with a little flowery pattern as like the kitchen mat. I'm not quite sure what to do on the wall. I think just like a small painting, maybe that one or that one could work. Layout wise, I'm not too mad. I like that it's something different, but I do wish we got a different swatch of the plant for inspiration. That's our kitchen. Moving on to the bathroom, we are going to be using the 24th plant in the game, the beautiful, humble, simple, carefree succulent. And this only has 6 swatches, and we're going to use the 5th one, which is the red one. Is that enough to sell the flooring? Like, can I sell, oh, that has to be the flooring? I need you all to comment right now saying never do a house with curved walls again, because I'm going to forget that this happens and be like, I'm gonna do another house with curved walls. No, do not let me cyberbully me into never doing a house with curved walls again. Is there a world in which we make this one red wall swatch kind of work with this room? And maybe we can, because there is some red in that plant. This wall is purple, even though it's not actually purple. It's painted the same swatch as this like light pink. What if I got a little creative here and did this like no fuss rug on one part of the floor? That way we can have a little bit of red flooring. We could do the sink there and maybe get like a laundry bin right there. Maybe our plant gets to live on the sink. Oh, there's also some yellow in there. We could do some wall art with some yellow in it to kind of like bring that up. I want the bathtub in here too, but like where even would that go? I could do the toilet over here and we could make this area like a little wet room. That's not right, is it? Asymmetrical pie slice bathrooms are actually gonna be all the rage pretty soon, everyone. So just wait, just wait. This may be risky, this may be controversial. I want a plant that's taller but still has the energy of our current plant. Do you know what plant comes in almost all the same swatches as our current plant and fits perfectly right in this corner? The Authority. I think that that could work really well and is a plant that is inspired by our other plant. I also feel like there's too much white in here, but I wouldn't say that we have the most green items for the actual bathroom appliances. I'd love to get something else yellow on the wall too. I think those towels could potentially work. And we could probably fit another, or a few, maybe 3 of these plants. I normally would probably put some more useful bathroom clutter, but since this house is already looking ridiculous, why not lean into it? So this is going to be our asymmetrical pie slice bathroom. I'm telling you, it's going to be all the rage pretty soon. I'm wondering if this person is like the new Oasis Springs undertaker. Like they just moved in, so they have some of their, you know, life and death stuff to get ready. And maybe this was like an eco home or like a silo that was being converted. Now we're going upstairs and finally we can use different flooring. I can't actually make this a room because the game will not let me. From my knowledge, there is no way to like actually close this off. So I was thinking of doing something like this with curtains and saying it's like an office or storage or skill building. We'll see what we get. This room is going to be inspired by the 47th plant in the game. 47 is the growing up mini vertical garden. It has 10 swatches and we'll use the second one. Ooh, which has all these beautiful blues. I was kind of thinking outside would be where a lot of the gardening takes place, but we could do kind of like an indoor gardening, maybe flower arranging. Maybe they're trying to do rooms inspired by all their different flower arrangements for the funerals that they help with. I don't know. What about this swatch of the spa day tiles? I feel like this color scheme wise is perfect. Now wait a minute, I can paint round ceilings tile by tile, but I can't do that with the floors. Is there some build hack that I'm missing because I never use curved walls? I do think that's the perfect ceiling though, because it's almost like the plant on the top is growing down through the ceiling. I think the storyline I am starting to commit to is this is a flower arranger for funerals. Maybe white and boring were the cheapest materials that they could get for the kitchen when they started renovating this, which is why it's all white and boring. The bathroom explanation is still loading though. I do love sizing up these succulents, and we could do this really light like blue-green that matches the bottom one on the wall. I also kind of want them to have like a bookshelf or 2 up here. I'm going into debug with the cheats that I'm showing on the screen right now, and we could get the flower arranging books to put on the bookshelf. That is what I wanted. And we can grab a gardening book as well. So then we can get a few different pots to use. I love that we do have like some pretty good swatches that match here. And maybe we do a couple of these vertical gardens in the white swatch because there is white in there. Do we do the tiny living chair? The orange pillow doesn't really match the plants, but the tealness of the chair does. Oh, you know what? This cottage living one might be a better match for us. I don't know why. I kind of feel like they might have a large like trash can next to their flower arranging setup. And I promise in my next build, we will do something that's like not a greenhouse. I feel like I've been doing this in every single build recently. I'm gonna make a little shelf area. I'll put some flower arrangements and some seeds and stuff. I would love to get a little rug. I feel like the cats and dogs one kind of works vibes wise because it's wicker, and swatch wise it kind of works. I'm always like, you know what? If the build can't look good, at least we got a story. At least we know who lives here and maybe have an explanation for why the build doesn't look good. Something else I wanted to add is the tiny living plant paintings. Groundbreaking, I know, but I wanted to maybe kind of make them a little gallery wall. Since the succulents themselves are kind of stacked on top of one another, I was thinking we could kind of mirror that stacking with the pictures. Maybe since this is their office, they kind of have like their work calendar. Color scheme wise, I think we kind of nailed it. That's gonna be our office flower arranging greenhouse area upstairs. All right, and now to come into the bedroom, we are going to be inspired by the 219th plant in the game. Finally, a different number. Ooh, the potted palm. One of my favorites, I must say. And this has 4 swatches. We will be using the 4th one, which is this like tan one. I suppose we could get like this tan going on the wall here. Or maybe we kind of do that on the floor. So we could do like the banana leaf wallpaper on here, except it's not a banana plant. But I do feel like this wall is very similar. Where does the bed go? That is such a good question that I don't have an answer to. Oh no. I feel like we have to do a single bed. And then I think just like tan wood swatches is what I'm going for the rest of this. For some reason, this season's tan swatch really works in my head for some reason. If you ever want to express how unsure you are about feeling some way about something, just start and end the sentence with "for some reason" to really emphasize that you don't know the reason. The main idea behind this room room is just like tan. I actually don't hate this little corner of the room here. Once we add in the curtains, it feels very intentional. It is kind of a big room though, especially when we're not using a double bed. I'm really tempted to add the authority again just because like that's my favorite. And since we are getting to the end, I'm like, how could I do every room as a different plant and then not get the authority? I definitely owe you all this one again because the curved walls really messed us up here, I would say. We could add another one of the plants. It might fit perfectly right there. But I was more so thinking the chess table. This person might be kind of into chess. That just feels right to me. I think this couch, since it's from Eco Lifestyle, maybe it was left over. It was left here from when this was like a silo turned eco home for the first time. Was that what I was saying the story was? I think they need to make like curved walls class in The Sims 4. Well, I think that might be the best we can do for this potted palm inspired bedroom. I like the vibes. It's really just the layout for this one. Oh, so now we come to the back patio. And I've mentioned my really bad short-term memory before, and I literally forgot that we have this going on. For the rest of this exterior area, we are going to be inspired by the 31st plant in the game, which is this country flowers one from Growing Together Get Together. You didn't hear that? Who said that? I always call it Get Together correctly. I always never mix up Growing Together and Get Together. I don't know who said that. Anyway, that actually could be kind of nice because that is like specifically an outdoor item. And out of the 7 swatches, we are inspired by the 7th one, which has some pinks and purples. So we kind of tie back in to the attempts at pinks and purples in here. I think I'm gonna get some of these just like all around here. We could get another flower arranging table. This time we could have it be pink. And this plant really reminds me of this laundry day grouping of plants. So I think it couldn't hurt to maybe have some of those in here. We could do this outdoor dining table. It definitely has that same pink vibe. And I haven't figured out what to do about this yet. Wait, I actually do have an idea. The Your Moment of Zen garden rock rug. We size it down a ton. And then we just make this look like it was a little grass patch. That's definitely what it looks like, right? It definitely looks like grass and not weird sludge oozing out of the former silo turned eco home. It definitely looks like a grass patch, right? If you zoom out really far and then you close your right eye and then you close your left eye, I don't think there's any issues. You know what? Maybe not all hope is lost, because what if we get some outdoor plants like the low-lying yellow pale flowers and then it's just like they're just kind of like planted in the grass patches we created? It's okay. This is fine. That actually did make it look a lot better. We should definitely get some lighting out here if we can. This has like some pink accents on it. We could do this grill out here. Well, I'm glad I got to try this challenge. A lot of you have been suggesting it for quite a while. However, I am so sorry that this is how it turned out. I think the concept is fun though, and I think that there are plants that are not circular. So if I did this again, maybe we wouldn't need to have curved walls as our exterior. But it is always fun to, you know, stretch that creative muscle, maybe a little bit too much. Maybe we pulled it in this video. We might have pulled a muscle here, but that is going to be it for today. So if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment a plant emoji. What other one would you comment, you know? Do make sure to like this video if you did enjoy it, and also subscribe to my channel if you are a Sims Build Challenge enjoyer. There's another one on the screen for you right now to watch. I live stream every weekend on Twitch. That link is down below. Our Discord link is down below. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a lovely tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!